Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks Futures Market Preview for Thursday, the 8th of July and Friday, the 9th of July, 2021. Hope you had a good trading week. No shocker, but it was an interesting day. We gapped up a little. We sold off hard. Looked like it was going to get real interesting. Could have been a big money-making day. And then suddenly we just reversed and went back to highs, like whatever we do. So very, very interesting, but not a lot to show for that. In particular, we had a good futures trade and a nice a little Peloton trade, not much on Qualcomm, and that's it. It wasn't super interesting. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. I did want to show you, by the way, this is really important, obviously, from a technical trader's perspective. The weekly chart, way more important than the daily chart. And you can see that we've gotten the 13 sell signal back a couple weeks ago. We talked about this, it's been like 8 weeks now, but we talked about this. Now we're right up against the risk line, though, and this is always a key point, right? So we'll see what we get from that perspective, but this is a once-a-year signal type of thing, basically, and so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. When we go to the monthly chart, we're nowhere near a signal yet. The last monthly chart signal was a sell signal right before COVID, and that worked really well, so we'll see what we get there. But right now, certainly that risk line is going to be a key level. All right, let's go through the daily charts. Crude oil down 33 cents to 71.87, coming back down a bit. Gold down $1.90 to 1800.2. We've got the S&P cash index was up 14.59, and again, at one point in the day we were down pretty sharply, and then everything just reversed like it was no big deal, and we came back up. I'll show you that in the intraday action in a moment. NASDAQ 100 was up 24. That's not a big deal. What's interesting is with the S&P up 14, the NASDAQ up 24, the SOX was down 46. Remember, there's a 13 sell signal in place here on the SOX. The biotech's down 67. So that's pretty ugly. The Russell 2000 down 21. It was lower a little bit during the day. The VIX actually ended up closing down 24 cents. It had started to pick up. The trend closes at 1.47, so that puts the 10-day at 1.21, which is not a signal. NASDAQ volume 4.6 billion shares, a little bit better than the day before. But here's the thing: advanced decline ratio with the SOX and the biotechs down and the Russell down, negative 1255 on the NASDAQ. So a very negative advanced decline ratio. It was way worse in the middle of the day, and negative 120 on the New York. So more stocks down than up by a lot. And yet, we were up. Google gains 5.68 points. Now, if you go to projection mode, 11 candles up on the daily chart, so we're getting near a sell signal on Google. Apple up $2.55, nowhere near any type of signal. Netflix down $5.68. This one did have a sell signal on the 65-minute chart that worked really well. Amazon up 20.84, breaking out after that Microsoft contract got canceled and giving the potential government contract to Amazon. Tesla down 14.93. This thing hasn't done anything for months. Facebook down $2.29. And again, we've got a 12 here, getting near a 13. Zoom down $7.21 to 393.91. Goldman Sachs down $2.19. There's some puts on that continue to work. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up $1.30. Now we have a 13 sell signal in place here, as we talked about the other day. So that's interesting for the bonds. The Dow up 104 points. Bitcoin at 33,000, and that's about it. Now, if we look at the intraday action, the 5-minute candles, so again, you can see this little gap up, and then we really sold off, and this was starting to get ugly. I mean, really ugly. Advanced declines were just falling apart. Everything was falling. And then suddenly it's like, oh, no big deal, and it came right back. And bounced back up. 13 sell signal was the high of the day on the 5-minute chart of the ES. Meanwhile, the NASDAQ side gapped up and also sold off, was negative, not as much, and then came back. And so again, what started to look like something interesting, and especially when you realize where the ES is on that weekly chart, could have been fun, and instead just they shook it off. That doesn't mean we're done or that we're not going to head lower, but for the first day against that risk line, we definitely bounced off of it. In terms of economic data left this week, unemployment, the initial and continuing jobless claims numbers Thursday morning, an hour before the bell. Natty gas at 10:30. Crude oil inventories at 11 because of the holiday instead of being on Wednesday. Consumer credit at 3 in the afternoon. And then on Friday, just the final wholesale inventories at 10 a.m. Is what it is. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday.